Let's go.
Here I'm putting on an equiami onto Shakes to lunge him with. I don't lunge him often. When I do, I use an equiami on him. It just reminds him to work harder from behind, so pushing from behind into the contact rather than just stretching long and low. It does ask him to stretch long and low, but by pushing from behind. He loves it. Look at the coochie face. Look at that big patch of missing hair. Hopefully it will grow back soon. I am putting a coconut oil based product on it to try and help his mane grow back a bit more for the summer. Schnozzy schnoz. Making sure I look after his little tootsies. So I obviously clean his feet out, and then I use Keratex hoof gel to look after his feet, and that looks after it in wet and dry conditions, and just keeps his feet in as best condition as possible. He's not blessed with the greatest feet, so anything that I can do to help my farrier, I try to do, and yeah, just keeps them nice and tough for my wonderful farrier. Coffee. This picture is when I've almost cleaned myself up. Poor Shakes, I gave him a quick 10-minute warm-up after I managed to spill almost an entire bottle of hoof stain over my face and my clothes. What you can't see in this video is the black marks all over my jodhpurs. Luckily I had a spare stock and Michelle had a spare jacket. So I'm I'm trying to ride a bit more with a tougher contact, so I'm not just kind of trotting around with baggy reins and him kind of ambling along. It was quite difficult in this test because I didn't feel like I had the warm-up I needed to get him really listening to me and pushing forward into the contact. I was quite pleased with how he was working. I knew that I could work harder, but I didn't think it was fair to ask him for too much, given that I pretty much just dragged him off the lorry, had a quick trot and a canter, and then we had to go in for our test, given the drama. So you'll see that compared to some of the videos I've done in the past where we've had a dressage test, I have got more of a consistent contact than previous tests. You'll see in the next test it's actually a lot better as well than in this one. We made a couple of errors in this test. You just saw there I nearly left the arena, and so overall I was pleased with the score that he got. You'll see our score at the end, and I thought it was quite a nice, quiet, consistent test. Like I say, a couple of errors, a couple of times where he just hollows into my hand, but overall I was very pleased with what he produced for me, given our challenging warm-up. So back into the warm-up, and we practiced some of the moves that we had coming up in the second novice test. We did some canter, trot, canter across the diagonal, which is what we had in the test. We practiced our give and retake the reins, something that actually we both struggle with. I struggle to keep him going, and he struggles to hold himself without me. But as you'll see in the test, it was pretty successful. We also worked on some halting off the centre line, which was part of the test as well. our second test, and I thought that he was much nicer for me in the second test. We'd done quite a lovely warm-up. I felt that I'd prepared us both well. He was nice into my contact. Yeah, absolutely could have a shorter, rounder frame, and that's just something that he will develop and get stronger at over time. But he was nice into my hand, he was nice off of my leg. There were moments where he could have been more forward, where he could have been more active. You know, it was far from the perfect test, a long way off the perfect test, but in my opinion, when I rode it and watching the videos back, it's certainly an improvement on the first test we did, you know, that day. We had the same judge for both tests. I was expecting an improvement on our score for this test. I thought that there were some lovely moments in it, and he was a lot rounder and more responsive in this test. You'll see shortly when we get to the end what our score was, and I was very, very disappointed with our score at the time. I thought that we both deserved a lot more than what we got. Fortunately, I'm an incredibly positive person, and I knew that we had done better in our second test. I knew that he had tried for me. I knew that I had ridden him better. So I walked away not as disappointed as when I first saw my score. I managed to change my mindset round to, well, actually, you know, we've done the best that we could do, and the opinion of the judge is the opinion of the judge. So yeah, I thought that he tried for me, and that was the most important thing in my eyes. I am absolutely over the moon with his jumping that evening. I have to remember to keep that same contact that I have when I'm riding my dressage tests, when I'm jumping. He takes that confidence from me, holding on to him. I've always had a thought in my head that if I have too much contact, I'm asking him to stop. But actually that's not correct for him. He needs me to support him with my leg and my hand, and if I don't have my leg on and I don't support him with the front end as well, then he doesn't feel that confidence from me, and that's when we start to run into the problems. So today we were both on it. We kept it fairly simple, straightforward, small, and we just used it as a training day to both feel confident and happy, do some technical lines, and enjoy our day out jumping together. Such a fun weekend. I really enjoyed myself, and so did Mr. Shakes. As you saw, we had a very, very, very busy weekend. We're both very tired and looking forward to a bank holiday weekend coming up. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one. As always, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and tell your friends.